Hey guys, welcome to another key lesson. This is part 2 of building Gotenks. Today I'm going to talk about the ratios of Goten and Trunkses, Gotenks, and so on. But first I want to mention the value of going on like the Facebook group and talking to other players, getting ideas from them. It's hard to have an encyclopedic memory of all the cards, so other players are going to have some ideas that you haven't thought of. It's always worthwhile talking to other people. Guy I was talking to gave me some ideas for some Bardock related stuff, an old promo card I don't have, so I filed it away as an idea, but I might look into it. But for now, I'm just focusing on a regular Gotenks build, really. A lot of other people love talking about Universe 9, but I don't have much of the Universe 9 stuff, and I don't intend to pay for it. Since part 1, I bought another box and a few extra packs. I still haven't pulled the Secret Rare or any Gogeta Unisons, but I have done well getting more of the SR and the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and the extra card as well. So I have 3 copies of Vegeta in the build at the moment. He's good for finding the super combos or any generic yellow Saiyan with a cost of 3 or less. But I also have Pan, and I have her at 4. The reason being, she's more important. She finds Goten, Trunks, or Gotenks and doesn't care about their energy cost. And she discards 1 if you take 2. So that is good for thinning the deck out. So you can discard one of the Goten or Trunkses that can be added back to your hand from the drop if need be. For Goten and Trunks, I have 4 and 4 of the Eager. And I also have 4 Goten Flash of Brilliance, 2 Trunks, and 2 of these other Trunkses. Like with Pan, the great thing about these Goten and Trunkses is you can use the Eagers to find the Flash of Brilliances and thin the deck out. So if you have more than 50 cards in your deck, you can thin it out and that will make it more consistent. For the Gotenkses, I have 3 of the Double Strike, 3 of the Critical, and 3 of the Super Rare. I would probably put the Double Strike at 4 and the Critical at 2, but I only have 3 of the Double Strike so far. But the Critical is pretty useful as well, depending on what your matchup is. And I have 3 Gokus for critical attacks and 2 Bardocks just for draw. They're, not super necessary. If you can get them on the board, that's nice, but if you don't, you're not too worried. Not the main plan of the deck. For Super Combo, I have 4 Gohans. Now, I don't have any, I didn't put any Zamasu in, but I feel like I'd rather have the draw in this deck. I know the Zamasu makes a lot of sense, but I've also got plenty of other ways of tapping their battle cards. The Unison, I have 4 Broly. Like I said, I haven't pulled any of the Gogeta Unison yet, and he would probably be better, but this is the cheaper option for the minute. And then I have 3 Burning Kamehamehas, which is probably too much. I'm not decided yet. I've got 3 Super Saiyan 4 Vegetas. This card's important because you tend to tap out a lot, so he can come in for free if your Unison's on the board. And then I have 2 Release from Evil. And for the very same reason of being tapped out, I've put my negates for Time Magics. And just as a little side experiment, I tried playing the deck with Universe 6 stuff instead. So I substituted a few different cards like Pan and put in 4 Cauliflas, 1-drops, 4 SRs, 2 of the negates, 2 Keflas, and obviously changed the super combo to Botamo so Cauliflas would find her. But I didn't really think it was great. Maybe if I built the deck more specifically with Universe 6 in mind, it would be better. But for now, I'd rather play it as it is. Okay, so that is the deck as it stands for the minute. Like I said, this lesson is about ratios, so let's talk about those. We have 9 Gotenks cards, 16 materials to fuse into Gotenks, so 8 Gotens and 8 Trunkses, 10 1-drop, 3 of them are critical attackers and 7 of them are searchers, 4 super combos obviously, 4 unisons, and 9 extra cards. 6 of the 9 extra cards theoretically could be played for free. The Release from Evil, you need Unison on the board, and Time Magic, Sparking, take a life. And then the Burning Kamehamehas, they can cost 1 if you have Unison. I'm not too sure about the Burning Kamehamehas. They could be cut down because the Double Strike Gotenks, he does the same thing. And then we have the 2 Bardocks and 3 Vegetas. The Vegetas are blockers and counterplays. So if you count them with the Time Magics, we kind of have 7 ways of defending. All up, the deck's at 57, which early in my testing I was thinking was way too much. But I worked out what you do is thin the deck out by dropping the Goten and Trunks the Eagers for the Flash of Brilliance and Pan as well helps out, like I said earlier. And if you do play the Gogeta Unison, he's even better for thinning the deck because you get to drop 2, draw 2 once a turn. You might ask, why not just have the deck at 50 and then not bother with the deck thinning strategy? Well, you kind of have the best of both worlds here. If you're playing Mill or if you're playing Invoker, so you're drawing more than you usually would, you don't have to thin as much. And then if up against something that isn't giving you the draws, go ahead and thin it. With Goten and Trunks being at 8 and 8, I tried putting them at 7 and 7, so I had 3 and 3 of the Flash of Brilliances, and I just swear every game after I did that, 2 of the Flash of Brilliances were in the life, so I feel 8 and 8 is better. Aside from my little Universe 6 experiment, I haven't tried much else outside of this generic Gotenks build. Like I mentioned in part 1, there's a few different ideas that could be applied to it, but I thought it was important to build the basic idea for the deck first and get a feel for it and see where the weaknesses are and what I could change to fit in more outside the box ideas. In part 3, I'll go over how I tested it and lessons learned, and I might even put forward a new build idea. I'll see you then.